There may be a disconnect if you have listeners, but nobody is converting. Because downloads are not the same as a pipeline. People who are listening aren't going to instantly become buyers, the same way it works on social media. So, today we're going to be talking about some things that could actually be causing that gap and some ways to help fix it in your next episodes. Now, this isn't a video pointing fingers and saying, you're doing podcasting all wrong. I personally don't think there is a right or wrong way. That's the joy of this medium. Instead, I just want to share and explore some common gaps in case this is something you're experiencing. So, we're going to go through 4 common struggles that you should check on and make sure you're doing the things that help convert listeners to clients. Let's get into it. So, number 1, no specific call to action per episode. When every episode ends with a vague, check out my services, or really no CDA at all, listeners have nothing concrete to act on in that moment. And so they might genuinely be interested, but without a clear next step to tie to what they just heard, that interest fades. And by the time the episode ends, they're already moving on with their day instead of taking action. So instead, make one that's tailored to the episode topic. For example, here at Golden Goose Creative, we offer all sorts of podcasting services. But if we're doing a video specifically on podcast editing, we would tailor our call to action to our editing services. So this could look like, if editing is giving you anxiety, sign up for a free discovery call at the link in the show notes. Number 2, the next issue could be the timing of your call to action. So you might think you only have to say it once at the end, but what happens if people drop off before the intro? They'll miss it entirely. Because we know listeners don't always stay until the end, unfortunately, but it's the reality. So one way to fix this, mention your offer, especially if it's relevant, mid-episode, especially if it fits that natural flow, in addition to the outro. That way listeners can catch it at least once, hopefully. And then number 3, no actual next step to take. And I'm talking not just a follow me or check out my website. That's not a clear destination or payoff for the listener, so they likely won't even bother, or they'll just zone out and miss it entirely, pass right through it. So you need to create a tangible next step that makes it easy to engage further. Otherwise, the listeners just won't. The simpler and easier, the better. So, using my example from earlier, instead of check out our services here at Golden Goose Creative, I might say, grab our free podcast editing checklist at the link below to see exactly what you need before you hit record. And then the last one, number 4, is a mismatch between your topic and your offer. This is when this call to action has nothing to do with what the listener just heard. There's no natural bridge between the value that they got and the next step that you're offering. So it's really easy to ignore it if the topics feel unrelated. But I get it if your services don't entirely match every topic on your show. So for example, if the episode is about mindset, I wouldn't be pitching our editing services out of nowhere. Instead, I'd tie our call to action to mindset too. For example, maybe I say, if imposter syndrome is keeping you from showing up consistently, here's how we help podcasters build a sustainable production system so you can focus on your message and not the overwhelm. So, if needed, find a way to connect your topic to your offer. And remember to keep it simple. One specific call to action said at least twice. I'd aim again for the beginning or mid-episode and then again at the end. And then I would tie it directly to that episode's topic. And of course, change it up as needed. Downloads aren't what get your listeners to convert. It's setting up a funnel that's clear, well-timed, and fits your audience. So now let's test this on your next 3 episodes and tell me in the comments what happens. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe below. We have one more video in our Summer Porch Office Hours series where I will be answering some questions that have come up just during the summer to help finish out the season. So if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, drop them below. And if you need help with your podcast and setting up your call to actions, don't forget to check out the link in the description to set up a free discovery call with us so that we can see how we can help you specifically and your show. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.